Having seen then some of the tools that are available within the pwdx package, let's go through now and take a look at some of the tools that we've not used so far. So we're going to look at pwdx and pmap. So we can see some of the tools that have been used from the pwdx package, and a lot of the really simple tools that we use all of the time, such as free to be able to see our memory. And don't forget with the command free that we can go in and use free -m to show the free memory available in megabytes. Be careful about upping our units too much. If I use G for gigabytes, we can see now when we're looking at it, we're seeing that we don't have any gigabytes. Well, that's because I don't. I've only got 741 meg. So we only look at complete units, not partial units. We've already seen the ps command, so we've seen how we can use that, as well as things like the pgrep command, where we can go through and search for some of our processes. So here we can go through and search for the SSH daemon, and we can see then the SSH daemon have got 3 processes running. And we could take this further. I'm not going to with this, but we've seen that we can use things like pkill, so we can send signals through. But along with some of these tools we've got, especially the P series that we've been looking at, if I go through and look at pmap, let's say $, remember that variable $, represents my current running process. So if I scroll back up, we can see then when I issue the command, it expands then to process ID 14215. So if I clear this out and go echo $, we see that's my current running process, and then I can use pmap to show the memory map of what's in use for the process 14215. And of course I could use any process ID, but we can see then the memory address, and then we can see the size or the amount of memory that's in use, and we can see what it's being used for. One of the things that's useful in the output here is we can see some of the shared libraries that are being used by the process. Let's clear this out. So pmap is one of our tools, but another thing we could use is pwdx. And again, if I go through pwdx, and if we go through and use it again for $, we can see then, well, of course, it's my process, so I'm in the home directory. But we could go through and do this. Let's go through and do pwdx, and let's go through and take a look at pgrep. And we'll just put a P in front of this, and then for SSHD. So with this, we can see that, okay, I don't have rights to be able to read it from other users. But if we go through and add in the sudo in front of this and put in our password, well, we can see then the SSHD processes are running with a root file system of /. So again, here, especially with services, we could see if those services had been rooted, changed to a different root directory or something like that. But no, we can see that they're all working with their working directory being the root of the file system. The reality is what we're reading from here is actually going through into the directory /proc. I just use my process. Remember, we saw within this directory, so if I type pwd, I'm in /proc and then the process ID for my directory. And then when we look in this directory, we can see that we've got a file called cwd, which is a symbolic link to the directory that we're working in. So all pwdx is reading is expanding that symbolic link for us. So there we go, we've got a little bit of commands to look at there, pwdx to show our working directory, and the pmap, where we can go through and see the memory map for the running process. Now with that done, let's go through and take a look at the uptime command and the tload command.